Your brain doesn't replay painful memories at night randomly. It's trying to solve a pain it never fully understood. Have you ever noticed how different your mind feels at night? During the day, life moves quickly. You're busy with tasks, conversations, and responsibilities. Your attention is constantly pulled in different directions, and because of that, certain thoughts stay buried in the background. But when night comes, everything becomes quiet. The world slows down, the distractions disappear, and suddenly your mind begins to wander. Moments from the past start appearing without warning. A conversation that hurt you, a mistake you wish you could undo, a person who slowly disappeared from your life. You might spend the entire day without thinking about these things. Yet the moment your head touches the pillow, they return with surprising clarity. Your brain starts replaying the same scenes again and again, almost like a movie that refuses to end. And the strange part is that these memories often come with questions. Why did that happen? Why did they say that? Why didn't I respond differently? At that moment, it can feel like your mind is working against you, as if it is intentionally bringing back things that only cause discomfort. But in reality, your brain is trying to understand something that once felt unresolved. The human brain is designed to solve problems. When something confusing or painful happens, the mind naturally tries to analyze it so it can make sense of the experience. This process is part of how we learn and protect ourselves. If someone betrays your trust, your brain wants to understand why. If you feel rejected or embarrassed, your mind tries to study the situation so you can avoid similar pain in the future. In a way, your brain treats emotional experiences like puzzles that need to be solved. The problem is that many situations in daily life don't have clear answers. People leave without explanation. Conversations end without closure. Sometimes the things that hurt us the most are the things we never truly understand. When that happens, the brain keeps returning to the memory, hoping that the next time it examines it, something will finally make sense. But why does this happen mostly at night? The answer is surprisingly simple. During the day, your mind is busy surviving the present moment. Your attention is constantly occupied, which leaves very little space for deeper reflection. But when night arrives and the environment becomes quiet, your brain finally has room to process the things it ignored earlier. Silence creates space for unfinished thoughts to rise to the surface. That is why memories that seemed distant during the day can suddenly feel vivid at night. Your brain revisits experiences that still carry emotional weight. In some ways, this is a natural part of being human. Our mind is always trying to organize the past so the future feels safer. However, there is an important truth many people eventually learn. Not every painful memory has a clear solution. Some situations will never fully make sense. Some people will never explain their actions. And some questions will remain unanswered no matter how many times you replay the moment. When the brain can't find closure, it often continues searching for it. The mind believes that if it just thinks about the situation one more time, it might finally discover the missing piece. But healing rarely comes from replaying the same scene forever. Healing begins when the mind slowly accepts that the past can't be rewritten. Instead of trying to fix the memory, the goal becomes learning from it. Every painful experience carries some form of understanding. Sometimes it teaches you what kind of people you should trust. Sometimes it reveals boundaries you didn't know you needed. And sometimes it simply shows you how strong you were for surviving something difficult. When a memory transforms into a lesson instead of a question, it starts losing its power. The brain no longer needs to revisit it constantly because the experience has already been processed. So if your mind occasionally brings old memories back at night, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It simply means your brain is trying to understand experiences that once carried emotional weight. And the most peaceful response is not always to search harder for answers. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is gently remind yourself that the moment has already passed. The situation is over even if the memory still exists. With time, your mind slowly learns that it doesn't need to keep reliving the past to protect the future. And when that realization settles in, the memories that once kept you awake at night begin to lose their grip. Not because they disappeared, but because you finally moved forward.